27th of February, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Sif Yud Zayin. Okay, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. She was Samanashi here, our second tier. Mishna Berura this morning. Learning Hilchos Megillah. Siman Taf Reish Tzadi Sif in the Mechaber Yud Zayin. Minute Kol Yisrael. Yeah. Okay, Eliezer Tzvi, would you like to read?
You're mute, Eliezer.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Minute Kol Yisrael Shakore Kore Uposhes Ki Igeris Liros Laros Anes Ukashigmor Hoser the Korcha Kula Umvorech.
Okay, so I tell you what, before we go to the Ramah, let's stop and do the Mechaber. Where's on the Mechaber here? Okay. Yeah. The Dominican call of all Yisrael is when you read it, you read it, and you open it up like a Geras, the roast knife, to show the nace, to interesting with that. How about opening it up and Megillah like a Geras to show the nace? That I'm not sure what that exactly means, how that works, but that's what it says in the halacha. Okay, we'll try and understand that maybe. Okay.
And then when you're done, you roll it back up and then you make the bracha.
Right. You don't make the bracha while it's still unfolded, but you roll it back up, and then after it's all rolled up, then you make the bracha. We'll learn about that. You're not supposed to talk. Even though I take a moment or two to roll it back up, still shouldn't be any talking between the end of the Megillah and the bracha. Okay.
Shakore Aval HaYehudim Hashomim b'Megillah Ein Tzorach Lifshot. They don't have to. I guess they don't have to unroll it. Okay. You unroll it like a letter. Hainu Shaposhta Kula. When you unrolls the whole thing. The Eno Manichin Karucha Ella Kofel Oso Daf al Daf. You fold it up so it's only one page where it's showing at a time, and you read and unfold as you're going along. These are, excuse me. These are hair shalo Yagirar Agabe Akarka, and it shouldn't roll out and fall onto the ground. Adim Shakosav Delav Dafka Agabe Akarka, it's not specifically on the ground. Huadin Tulia Maal Hashulchan should be hanging off the table. Ustender.
Stender. There you go. You never know how to spell stender. This is where you know what to spell stender.
Right. Gam have a Ganai Ksive Kodesh. You're just having it hanging like that as a Ganai to Kisei Kodesh. The other cost of the Hafshita yet Kodem Shemaschil Levorek. That you should unwind it before you start the bracha. Unroll it before you start the bracha. Hefsek Bain Bracha Lakriya. There shouldn't be a break between the bracha and the actual starting of the reading.
Right. If you take the bracha and start unrolling it, so it'll be a hefsek. So therefore, if that's what everyone does after they've gotten it ready, only then after it's all unrolled, then they make the bracha.
Close over korcha kula uvorik. Then when you're done, you roll it back up and then you make the bracha. What someone wants to say, korcha kula manichin lefanov ala amagdil. You roll it up and leave it rolled up in front of you on the table or wherever you're reading it from. Akakaf mevorek. After you do your mevorek, the bracha achrona v'atan. The reason is the ganai who magala sitahe munachas kad. And it's a ganai that it should be, I guess, lying there.
Good, right?
After the bracha, or before?
Meaning, if it's going to be, the rolling up, right? If you want to roll it up before you make the bracha, because to leave it unrolled like that, or you're making the bracha, it would be genai that you're making a bracha in when it's so like unorderly, I think. So therefore, close it up and make it mesudar, and then you can make the bracha.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, if I feel habracha
If you
of
want, take a look at Nun Gimel in the Shart Tziyun. Eli Raz Nun Gimel is talking about you. You minik in the front of Allah Migdal. Have it opened up in front of you on the bima, and afterwards, then you make the bracha. The time genayu the megale shir menuchas kach. It's disgraceful if it's going to be left open, leaving like that.
Okay, back into the Mishnah Berura.
Good.
The feel im hitchil habracha Omer borchata. Begin the bracha said borchata. Kivin shelo Amar Hashem. Since he hasn't said Hashem's name, posech emsa. You can stop in the middle and b'korech akrakak levorek. And roll it up, and afterwards you can make the bracha. Okay. Smechaber.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Okay. Ready to go to the okay.
Yeah. How are we going to see the Ramah?
Okay. Yesh shekasu shenoagim lomer dal psuchim shel gula b'kol ram. There are those who practice that you say 4 psuchim of gula in a loud voice. The Hainu, and they are Ishehudi v'gomer, Mordechai Yotza v'gomer, Laidim Haisa Ora v'gomer, Ki Mordechai Yehudi v'gomer. V'kein nogim v'midor, that is the minig in our countries. The Chazan Choser v'korei osam. And after the people say it, the Chazan goes back and says it himself. They also wrote Nagu Tinokus Lotzor Tsuras Haman al Eitzim and Avanim. The practice of the children to write Haman's name on stones and sticks. Olitav Shem Haman Alehem on them, or to cut it, or to write them on them. Kosen ze al ze, and they bang them together in order to erase his name.
Right. So they write the name of Haman on these sticks and the stones, and they would bang them together, and that would be a way of erasing the name of Haman.
Hamigal b'toka kasav. You should erase it in the middle of it. I'm sorry. Timcha es Zechar is part of erasing the memory of Amalek. V'shem Rishon Mikrav, and the names of the Rishonim shall be torn up or buried.
Rot, I think rot. Yirkov should rot.
Umizeh nis tarbev haminag. From there we developed the minhag. Shemekim Haman kishakorin hamegillah bebeis haknesses. That we make noise when they say Haman's name inside the basic knesses while during the reading.
Right.
The aim of atal shum minhag o lilog alecha, and you shouldn't stop any of these minhagim or to limit them. Hilo hinam kavuan. Then they're not empty. They're not for no reason that they were established.
They weren't established without reason. Or it wasn't for no reason they were established. All right. Good.
Okay, B'kol Ram and Mishna Berura B'kol Ram. B'kol Ram, Mishum simple because of joy. Umasha chozar v'koria osam. That the reason we go back for it. Kadei sheishma lashmil tzibur, so the tzibur will hear them. Shemitzvah lechachila yishmoa kol hamagil b'toch haksav. And the mitzvah is to hear all of the Megillah from the Ksav.
Right. So therefore, you go back and read it, in case anyone might have missed the word Haman.
Okay. Took something from my place again. Okay. Shemakin Haman, Mariel Lohaya Choshes Lahakos Haman. The Mara wasn't worried about raising Haman's name. The Hagon Yavitz Kosev al Aviv Hachamsi, and the Yavitz writes on his father Hachamsi Shahaya Maka Veroka Baraglov Vitofeach Besandal. And he would hit it, and he would spit, and he would rub it out with his shoe. Because when he came to mentioning Haman's name. But if you've got the Yatza, Schorum, the Hefsedim, that they got their benefit from their loss. Shemakalkel, Shemabalbel, Harbit. They made a lot of noise interruption in the shul doing this.
Will just cause confusion for people to listen. Look at the Sharat Tzion in Sivkat Nun Zayin there. Afashat Shosek.
Afashat Shosek, Bisha Hamakim, and the Shilach Sibur should be quiet during that time. Gamze Enu Nochon. That Nochon, this is also not correct. She'asr Lachat Kil Hefsek Yoter Mikadei Nishma. You shouldn't. It says it's also to take a break more than what's needed to hear.
That the you can't make many. Again, we're stopping when you say the word when the Rashat says the word Haman, so he needs to stop because he can't go further with the pasuk, because if he does, it's going to be drowned out by all the noise, right?
Right.
But he has to be a little bit careful because he's really. We learned this yesterday. It's literally usher to make a hefsek in any sentence of the Megillah more than a breath's worth, right? But that's very hard, right? It's very hard to do such a thing, right? Because why? So to see, it's that's why he's saying it's ein nochon. It's really that the shots should stop, right, and wait for the noise to die down. It's not really proper because it's also really to stop the amount of time it would take to take a breath's worth, and he's doing that. So the question is, how can he do that? So you have to say it's b'di'evid. It's all b'di'evid that he's doing this because if he doesn't do it, people are going to get confused and they're going to not have the kriya properly because they're not going to hear every word from him. Right? But on the other hand, he's going to be making a hefsek which is longer than necessary than is allowable with chatchila. Okay. Now as we continue on with the Sharat Tzion, well, hine lo yatakti. I didn't copy this over.
Hine lo. He's actually saying about Shehevi Hamagan Avram b'Shem Halavush. Sheomer v'Shem Rishayim Yaakov basically as Chavan that we were talking about fulfilling exchanges. Rishayim Yaakov would be destroyed. Many of the wicked would be destroyed. Talking about Chaman. Ba'afim im nema dezel lo chashiv hefsek. This is not considered a hefsek. Mishum dehavim in doing Shayom, it's part of the celebration of the day. So Sif Yud Gimel is explained at the end of Sif Yud Gimel. Al kol panim yuchal mitzmoach mizeh lakalkul godol.
Right. So this is explaining what the Mishnah Berurah said. Right. Yotzi schar be'hefsedo, meaning even though that it's sort of necessary to do this, that you do bang and make noise, and it takes time, and it's more than a breath's worth of a interruption in the middle of the reading of the Megillah. Nevertheless, since it's still part of the actual fulfillment of the Shem or Shem Yikra, the Shas Haman, it's not going to be considered, you might want to say, a real hefsek, because it's really a necessary part of the reading of the Megillah. It's still nevertheless a terrible corruption to come out of this. So Yishma Az Ezetavis, because you may not come to hear all the words from the shots, and they're not going to be Yotzi Bechlal, you Kriya, right? Therefore, it's better that he doesn't say anything. So therefore, even though the shots is going to make a interruption in the reading of the Megillah more than it takes, take a breath, it's b'diavad allowable because there's no other way to get around it. That's just the situation you're faced with.
No, you want it louder.
Okay, let's go back up to the Mishnah Berura.
So is it better not to be making noise or what?
It's really better not to make it. If
You hear it now?
it would be better not to make noise. True, better not to make noise because if you allow them to make noise, that means the shots is going to have to stop, and he's going to have to stop more than it takes to take a breath's worth, right? And we learned, I think that we had that yesterday. Look back in Sif, the end of Sif Gimel, Yud Gimel, sorry, right? End of Sif Yud Gimel. Also lives Psych, Ba, Niman, Acherim. It's also to make a break, right? In anything, in Memvav, what we have yesterday, Memvav. That's, you see what the Mr. Brew writes in Mem Zion.
Okay, Mem Zion?
It's cut in Mem Zion.
Mem Zion. Mem Zion. Mem Zion. Binyanim Acherim. Hainu Shalom Minyan Delom. Minyan Deyom. Not something that has to do with the day.
Right. So it says you can't make any interruptions if it's not going to be something which has to do to the inyanim of the day, the celebration of the day. And they look at the Mem Gimel in the Chartzium. That's the Rosh Umashma. Shami inyanenu shel yom lo chashiv hefsek klal. If it's the inyanim of the day, it's not considered to be a hefsek klal. If you look at Kila Shari, right? Even look at Kila Shari. He says, "Hey, is there raya increase? Torah, okay, because the haki kedela kwasi nisa shari. If it's going to be the mefarsim in the nace, it's mutter." So here you see the Mishnah Berura is coming out, right? It's coming out that they really even look at Kila, you could make a break if it's for the inyanim of the Megillah. Yeah. There you go.
So you're saying we've been doing it wrong all along?
Well, not really. Here, the Mishnah Berura is actually coming out that it's okay, even with the Tula. The question is, do you look at the shots being quiet because there's so much noise because they're banging for Haman's name? Do you look at that as part of the inyanim of the day, right? If you look at it as part of being the inyanim of the day, according to the Rosh, the Shartzian, even Likatchila, you could stop something which is inyanim of the day, right?
But
Yeah.
I wonder also if they in the times past they banged as long as they do now. because now we have all these contraptions. We have these horns and we have these firecrackers. And these are all, I think, relatively new. I mean, I know what I do is I just say boo, and that's it. And if everybody did like that, or just did a clock, then it wouldn't be such a long break, and I think it would be less of a problem also.
Mm. I don't know. You have to ask the Chinamen when they invented gunpowder.
It was about 1,000 years ago, Rabbi.
So there you go. So they had it a long time ago. They had it. They could get hold of it if they wanted to. Believe me.
Yeah, Marco Polo had access to it.
Yeah. So, but I mean the Grogger. I mean the Grogger is that's ancient, as far as I know. I mean I haven't looked into the history of the Grogger, but it's ancient.
Yeah. Okay. So much for that idea.
But so I'm not really clear based on this short Zion in Mem Gimel, that according to the Rosh, Mashma Sham Yinenu Shayom Locha Afilu Litkatchila, even Litkatchila it's Sharet. Right, and here the Mr. Berura is saying, right, he's saying by us now that it's coming out a little bit different in Sifkat Nun Zion of the Sharet Zion. Right? Look again at Nun Zion in the Sharet Zion Nun Zion. Avsha Shatz Shoisik B'Shas Making Tamzan Eina Nachon. Even if the shots is going to be quiet because they're making noise, it's not nachon, it's not proper. Why? Right? I didn't copy over what was brought down by the Magen Avraham in the name of the Levush, that it's a fulfillment of Shem Yisharim Yirkov, the name of the Rishonim Shurat, the Ace Zechir Samalach, the Atim name is Lo Chashib Hefsik. Even if you say it's not considered to be a Hefsik, right? Mishum Inyanim Shel Yoim, right? It's Inyanim Yom, that's what we said over there. So similar sub Gimel, that's what we said over there, right? And we said over there in Shartzin, even with Likatila it's mutter. Al Kapani, nevertheless, Yochalim Soach Mizek Kilkul Gadol. Nevertheless, it's still possible that a tremendous kilkul detriment can come out of this. Why? Shlo Yishma Az Eza Tables Minashatz. Because it could be that the actual the banging of the noise on the for humming is going to make that some people may not hear words of the shots. Well, Yotzi they Kriyas Megillah, it wouldn't be Yotzi the Kriya. And Lechein Tov Shlo Yomer Klau. So better that they don't say anything at all. So okay, so the Mishnah is actually dealing with it. If it's in terms of a hefsek, right, and you're not supposed to make a hefsek, so there's a way around that. You can say since it's for the inyanim of the yom, and even l'katchila for the inyanim yom, you can make a hefsek. But since all the noise is going to possibly make that there might be some people that don't hear the full Megillah, even if you miss one word, you're not Yotzi. So it could be that some people may not be Yotzi, and that would be the reason why you shouldn't do it. So it's better not to do it. It seems like the Mr. Berura's das is it's better not to do it. I know that there are many places, I shouldn't say that, I don't know about many places, but there are places that there might be that they only allow 3 times of interruption for the shaman's name, right? They don't allow it all the time. Other places, which is the real the minig is every time you hear Haman's name, you make a lot of noise. That's the minhag. But there are places that are more makpid, and they only allow 3 times for the hitting of making noise from Haman's name. So it all depends. who's making the rules of the minyan for Purim. I know some places they have rules that if a person's dressed up in a costume, he can't be a shatz, right? Sometimes you get a person who's dressed up like who knows what, he wants to be the shatz, but some places don't allow it. Not covered at tzibur, even though it's Purim, but it doesn't allow you to do everything you want. Okay, let's continue on. Let's see where we are. We did Samech.
Oren HaMegillah B'Beis HaKnesses. When you read the Megillah B'Beis HaKnesses, the Tzorch Chazan Lich Tok Az Be'esh Makin Kedei Yashmiya Kulam Krioso. The Chazan has to wait while people are making noise so people can hear the whole reading. Because it's a real
Kilkel is like a detriment or
Urgilan Hanaarim Lahakos Kama Pamim Beish Choser Chazan Lakore, because the kids make a lot of noise at the time the Chaz is going back to read. Akain Tov v'Nachon Shekol Yochid Yikori Pasuk Oshnaim Betok Chumash or Be'od Makin Haman. Then people should read in the Chumash the times Haman's name is read to make sure that it does get read. Because Yishma Mechazan Yosef, because even then if you don't hear from the Chazan, they're going to be Yotzei. Which cost of $6 if you wrote in Sif Dalad. Can't cost of a prima godim. And this is also the prima godim right. Shenachon Ma'od Shekol Echad Yispos Chumash Be'ez Hakriya. Everybody should have a Chumash time of the Kriya. The call Teva Shalo Yishma Min HaChazan Yikra Min HaChumash. He doesn't hear from the Chazan, he should read from the Chumash.
right. I mean, you should have your own Chumash there, and then therefore, if you know they're coming up, you should read that pasuk along to yourself, and you'll be yotzi with that, even if you're not going to hear from the shots himself. Okay.
You have to read the whole pasuk, or can you just read the word?
The word. I mean, yeah. You know, if you hear whatever you don't hear, you should read, right? Right. Whatever you don't hear, you should read. If it's just one word, all you have to do is read the word. Okay. Let's Samech. There's a little Bir Halacha here. Let me see. No, okay, that's something else. Yeah, okay, let's take a look. I will Yudches Megillah. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's just fill up with time just to read the Mechaber. Okay, let's just read the Mechaber and the Ramah and Yudches. We'll do that again tomorrow.
Megillah B'Yudalad will be Tesvav Tzorech L'Chazer Achar Asara.
Minion, you have to have a minion.
Yeah, Megillah is read on the 14th, 15th needs a minion. Be'im Efshar B'Asara Koran also B'Yachid. You can't get a minion, you can read it by yourself.
Right. Okay, there are more.
Yesh Elais Tapek Im Nashim Misharfim Lasar. There's a question about whether women count as part of the 10.
Right. Can you add a woman? Let's say if you have 9 men and 1 woman, can you is that l'katchila that the woman can join in to make a minion for Kriyas Megillah?
Im Karu Osa Kitzibur Ve'ezi Yachid Lo Shema. You're reading as a congregation, one person doesn't hear. Yochol L'Kro Afilu L'Chachila. The Kriya is good even L'Chachila B'Yachid by Yach. He can read it by himself. Ha'el v'koren also ha'ir ba'asara. So if it's being read by a minion at some point, someplace in the city, and at that point it's mutter for a person to read it by himself because it is being read in a minion someplace.
Right. If he's as long as in his city, there's some minion to be relying on that. Okay, therefore, if he's reading his mano, he can read and then even apparently even make a bracha. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to turn it to the Zmano and he's reading it in the proper time in that situation, start with Varech Alpha. Then he has to make the brachas on the video.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mitzvah Shem. I hope to finish up. We'll go over this again tomorrow and finish that up. And then Kafrei Sadi Aleph, Ksivas and Megillah. I don't know if we're going to Ksivas and Megillah. Maybe there'll be a few halachas that we'll learn about that. Perhaps we'll see.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Very good. Have a Hatzlacha. Hope to see you tomorrow. Mitzvah Shem.
Okay, be well, everybody.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mayor. Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you. Rabbi,
Yes, Luke.
um,